It's the face-off between Arsène Lupin's child and Sherlock Holmes' child.
What happened to me? I remember being abducted by Lupin, then I awakened to find myself in an unfamiliar environment. The room itself was barren, no decor, no distinct color, no additional furnishings other than the bed I was on to be seen. The only thing of note was a single window set within one of its stone walls.
Unfamiliar. Oh, you'll get real familiar with this area, Emily. Don't you worry. Average Holmes L, I guess. I'm just imagining like the OG Sherlock and Lupin just pitting their babies against each other. Fight, fight, fight! Like, my baby can kick your baby's ass. You're in one of these per route.
I eased myself upwards from the bed. That revealed one positive in the situation. I was not bound.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if Lupin bound me.
I can't afford to waste a single minute here. God, I need to escape.
Jackie, isn't that just the plot of Kaito Cases and Detective Conan? Can you guys hear the game alright? I see you're up, princess. And I didn't even need to kiss you. I just redeemed hydrate. Here, I will hydrate again.
What a fright! Lupin strolled into the room through its one entrance as if waiting for the perfect moment.
Chat, what did he mean by... Never mind. We all know what he meant by that. Can you guys hear the game alright? Sounds like it might be a little low. But I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it is low. Okay. How's it sound now? It has barely been 5 minutes, and you're already making a bondage joke. Yeah, how does it sound now? Should I turn it up even more?
Your rainbow of expressions, I must say. Each one more colorful than the last. You appeared from nowhere. It's natural to be surprised.
I think fine? Okay, cool.
May I ask where we are? What reason do you have to kidnap me?
Also, hold on, let me adjust my seat. I'm in a bit of an uncomfy position. Yippee! Lupin! Lupin! Woohoo! Yay! Yeah, we got kidnapped by Lupin. Are you guys sure I didn't play Lupin's route instead? Okay, here we go. Oh wait, whoops. Made mention of your association to Spellbound, and yet you... Please. One question at a time. Finally, a kidnapping I can get behind on. I have many bases in London, and here is one of them. That is the most I'm able to disclose. As for why I brought you here, why, that's simple. I wanted you for my what? Your wife? You can't fool me. With how many times Holmes got fucked in this route, I'm sure this is his route.
君が魅力的だというのは本当さ。君はあのホームズ君の本気を引き出してくれるんだから。
That you fascinate me to no end is absolutely true, however. You also happen to bring out the best in Monsieur Holmes.
Lupin presented a leaf of paper.
今朝
This is but one of several hundred handwritten messages planted within the Tower of London's vicinity by the students of Harrington Academy.
あまりのことに今朝はロンドン中のちょっとした騒ぎになったんだよ。
The ordeal is the talk of London, let me tell you. And if it pleases you, permit me to read what they say. HH extends notice to dearest destined foe JL. Holmes is bearing his fangs for this one. Yo, he sent a calling card to Lupin, damn.
It's from Holmes? Let me see. As soon as he said his name, I leant forward and snatched the paper from Lupin. He continued to read aloud as if he had long memorized its contents.
W 城は君にふさわしくない。即刻こ
Lady
ちらに
W
返
is
した
too
ま
good
え。
for the likes of you,
ロンドン
and as
島の
such, you are to
屋上
return
で
her at
今夜
once.
9時に
I'll
待
be
つ。
waiting on the tower of London's highest point tonight at 9 o'clock. Wait,
まさか一晩で何百枚もクラスメートのみんなに頼む
goodness.
こんな好戦的な
Posted hundreds of these with our schoolmates in one night? It's such a provocative notice.
ホームズ君らしくないと君は思うかい？
You must think it's very unlike him to do this.
僕はね、ホームズ君と華麗かつ美しい勝負がしたいんだ。真剣にね。
I have a confession, Emily. What I desire most with him is a beautiful, magnificent duel for the ages. Are you? You know.
さすがにホームズ君が未だに自覚していなかったことには少しイラッとしたけど。
I admit to some irritation during our last clash. You seemed unaware of my intentions. I'm just obsessed with you, Holmes. I just want to keep fighting you, and I steal your wife so that you come chase after me.
こうしてトゲトゲしい挑戦状を送ってきて
But
くれたん
oh,
だ。
have times
本
changed?
気になる理
The
由
tone
に
of this
やっ
challenge
と彼も
suggests
気
he's
づい
now
たんだろ
seen he has something worth fighting
Pero,
for.
まだ
Although
まだ
he's
甘
still
い。
not quite there. Oh, so Lupin is Holmes' cousin. Sorry, too soon. Oi!
まさかあなたはスペルバウンドの命令で
No!
ホームズを罠に
Oh no! You aren't luring him into a trap on Spellbound's orders, are you? The face Lupin... not Lupin, it's Lupin. Lupin is that dork with glasses. This is clearly Lupin, not Lupin. The face Lupin returned was one of childish delight, down to the dancing of his fingers and the fidgeting of his posture as he shifted his weight from side to side. He could scarcely contain his excitement.
僕はスペルバウンドとは利害が一致している。だから協力関係を結んでいるに過ぎない。
Spellbound and I share mutual interests, so we work together. Nothing more, nothing less. We all have crushes on Holmes.
彼らの命令で僕が動いたわけじゃない。僕は基本、僕の意思で動いているからね。
I've done none of this because of them. The vast majority of the time, I proceed purely of my own free will.
そうそう。ホームズ君親子と因縁のあるモラン大佐
Ah,
は
by
ス
the
ペル
way,
バウン
the
ドの
one who
神。
paid his grudges to Messieurs Holmes, Colonel Morin, is one of Spellbound's executives.
彼もまた上の者の
Not
指
at
示で
very
動
the
いている。
top, mind you. There's another he must answer to.
モラン大佐の上
And
司は変わ
that
り者
man
だ
is a
ね。
queer one.
自分の
Why,
墓まで
he
用意して
falsified his own
死を
death,
偽装してたんだよ。
gravestone and all.
死を
People do such things?
ああ、
He does.
僕も人を
I
騙すこ
play
とがあ
my
るけど、
tricks on the public
さすが
from
に
time to
自分
time,
の
but
死に
when
様
I
ぐらい
die,
は隠さ
I
ず
will only
華
go
々しく
out
したいな。
once and for all with glory and a bed of roses. You're so extra, Lupin.
そうそう。モラン大佐は主に貴族階級の人間を組織に引き込み、スペルバウンドの資金集めをしているんだ。
Since we're discussing him, he is currently focusing his efforts into recruiting members of the nobility for the money, if that were not obvious.
ま、あの偉そうな態度と趣味の悪い香水は到底好きにはなれないけど。
I simply cannot bring myself to like him. That arrogant personality, and his cologne is revolting. He's stinky. Lupin grimaced in an exaggerating manner.
前に君には言ったよね。僕は美しいものが好きなんだ。
I love anything that is beautiful. I have told you this before, yes?
己をかけるならば、美しいもののために全てをかけたい。
If I'm to ever put myself at risk, I want it to be in the name of beauty. I would risk every fiber of my being for beauty. Is that why you want to fight Holmes so bad? Do you think he's a pretty boy? Do you think he's hot? Is that why you want to fight him?
そして、いついかなる時にも、僕はクイーンを見捨てはしない。それが、僕の譲らぬ誇りだ。わかるかい？
But no matter the situation, even for beauty. Okay, so he admits that the pursuit of Holmes is the pursuit of beauty, even for beauty. I will never turn my back on a queen. That is my way, and I will violate it for nothing.
クイーンを見捨てない
What does he mean? It sounds as if he would never abandon a woman in need, but it's
女性を
difficult to say
見
with
捨てない
him.
ということそれともクイーンだから女王陛下のこと
Could it be literal? Is he referring to Her Majesty? The only other brought to mind was the gentleman thief's celebrated hallmark, the queens he left at the scene of his crimes.
トランプのクイーンはジャックとキングの間に位置するカードハートでは左向きだけどダイヤは右向き
Queens are between jacks and kings in a pack of cards. The Queen of Hearts faces to the left, whilst the Queen of Diamonds faces to the right. I continued to muse in concentrated silence. This apparently did not entertain Lupin enough, and in what must have been an act to sate his boredom, he leant closer and peered directly into my eyes. Are you gonna dupe? Are you gonna
君
kiss
に
me?
は僕のことをもっと知ってほしい。
Ooh. I want you to know more and more about me, Emily.
当然全てを知られるわけにはいかないけれど。
Certainly, I cannot share everything with you. He smiled sadly for a moment, as if regretful of this.
だって君は
It tempts me,
僕
but
が
I
気
must
づいてほ
refrain.
しいことにもな
If
かなか
only
気
you'd
づ
notice
い
the
てくれ
very
ない
thing I want you to
罪
notice.
作りなレディー
To
だ。
remain so oblivious is a sin, my dearest. Oh, did you want her to recognize you as Lupin?
まあ
Oh, and what
何に
would
気
that
づいて
be?
ほしいっていうの
女性というものは男から愛されているとい
It's
う
only
自
when
覚があっ
conscious
て
of
こ
being
そ
loved by a man
そ
that a
の
woman
美し
can
いつぼ
blossom
みを
into
開
the
花させること
flower
が
she
で
was
きる。
always meant to be.
君は探偵
You're
な
a
のに
detective.
自分
Must
に
you
向け
fail
ら
to
れる
detect
思い
the
に
feelings others have for
は
you?
全く気づいていないのか
What?
やっぱり
I could
く
never
るくる
grow
変わる
tired
君
of
を見ている
watching
のは
you.
飽きないな
You're never in the same state for long.
私をから
You are vile!
とんでもない僕はいつだって女性には真摯な態度を取るように心がけている
Please, when it comes to women, I am always sincere.
安心して僕は君を傷つける真似は絶対にしないから
Rest easy, Emily. There's nothing in this world that would bring me to hurt you. You have my word.
君には今夜の勝負が終わるまでおとなしくしていてもらいたいんだだからいい子で待っててね
There are men who love you. You are vile! Huh? I think she thought that he was saying that it's him, but he's obviously dropping hints that it's Herlock that he's talking about. Now, all I ask is that you sit here in comfort until tonight's duel is finished. Be good for me, please.
He exited the room, and I could hear the click of the door being locked, trapping me inside. His footsteps then grew softer and softer.
いけないこのままじゃ全てルパンの思うがままだわ
I cannot sit here. I cannot let Lupin have his way.
ルパンはスペルバウンドのためではなく自分の意志でホームズと戦いたがっている
He says he wishes to fight Holmes of his own will, not because of spellbound.
だけどルパンに捕まったままじゃホームズの足手まといにしかならないわこれ以上彼に迷惑なんて
I'd let Lupin have his way with me. Elio, probably. How'd you know?
But so long as I'm here, he'll worry. To think of staying here instead of trying to lighten his burdens is ludicrous.
一刻も早くここから逃げなくちゃ
I need to get out of here.
The night was eventful. Oh, are we Holmes now? There were 3 silhouettes standing at the Tower of London's highest point. Though they met after dark, they had the aid of the moon to bathe them in light.
君からの熱烈な誘い 実に光栄だ。
It was an honor
Holmes
to receive such an earnest invitation from you.
あ
Well,
君なら
I was
必ず
certain you'd
来ると
accept
思ってい
it.
た。
Where's Emily, Lupin? Lupin returned Watson's urgency and anger with a smile.
彼女はこのロンドン島のどこかにいるよ。
She's somewhere in
危
this
害は加
very
えていない
tower,
から安
and
心
she
して
is
くれ。
unharmed.
あくまで
Then
居場所を教
you
え
have
るつ
no
もりはない。
intention of telling us her precise location.
それは君次第
Whether
だ
I
よ、
choose
ホ
to be
ーム
more
ズ君。
precise is entirely up to you. You better have sloppy makeouts with me, Holmes, then I'll tell you.
僕は君と
I
本
wish
気の
to
一騎打
duel
ち
you,
がしたいんだ。
Monsieur Holmes.
そこの女子
One-on-one,
君に
of
は
course.
しばらく静
So
か
I
に
need
し
you
て
to
いても
keep
らいた
your
いね。
assistant on a lead.
何をそんな挑発に乗るつもりか
What? You aren't gonna listen to this, are you?
いいだろう。ワトソン君、君は下がっていたまえ。
Very well. Stay out of this, Watson.
ホームズ
Holmes, I want to make out with you too, though. Why do you think I came here?
物分かりが良くて何よりだね、
I'm
ホームズ
pleased
君。
we could come to an agreement.
もしこの勝負で君が僕に勝ったら、彼女は君に返そう。
For the terms, if you win, I will return her to you.
だけど僕が君に勝ったらわかるね。
If I win, however, I hope I don't need to spell my desires to you. Eh?
ミス・ホワイトリーは返してもらう。
All I need to know is that I'll be taking her back.
うん。君結構いい顔できるじゃないか。
Bro, you're giving me ammo game. Thank you. My face is wonderful right now. Strong, determined. I'm into it.
ところでホームズ君、君チェスは好きかい？
So, how do you like chess?
好きでも嫌いでも
I've no strong feelings one way or the other, but I've never lost a game. Emily off on the side with a big smile and blood dripping from her nose. Holmes, you have to lose, Holmes. You have to lose, Holmes. You have to lose, Holmes. You have to lose, Holmes.
うん、
What a
気が合うね。
coincidence. I quite
僕も
like
チェ
it,
スは
and
好き
I
だし、
too have
ちょうど
never
負けたことも
lost.
ないんだ。
Chess? Don't want Watson to help and it's a chess game? Yeah, we need to have Watson help so he can eat the pieces. He appeared rather giddy at the prospect of a competitive match, indicating in the direction of a table and two chairs near to them. Ain't no way he'd help otherwise, he's too dumb to play chess.
ここは他の邪魔が入らない方法で勝敗を決
Then
めようじゃ
may
な
we
いか。
settle this in a way where no one else can interfere? Atop the table was a chessboard. Its condition was so pristine that both the black and white squares each seemed to reflect some light from the moon.
チェスで勝負しようっていうのか
You want to decide this with a game of chess?
ワトソン君、君はここで見ていてくれ。
You're to be our... Ooh, excuse me. You're to be our witness, Watson.
彼は偶然に左右されることのない完全なゲームでの勝負を望んでいる。
Excuse me. He wants to settle this in a match of skill, where luck is to have no part in the outcome.
分かったよ
If that's what you want. Ooh! Let's go! Let's go, Yowie CG! They took the seats positioned opposite of one another.
でもただ君と勝負するだけではつまらないな。
Still, settling this with a standard game of chess strikes me as a bit dull. The seated Lupin crossed his legs and pretended to be deep in thought for a few moments, though this is only to heighten the drama. He knew precisely what he was going to propose. I mean, chess can also have luck play a part. It's just luck based on when you play the game, what events have happened up to that point, etc.
そうだ。君に耳寄りな
There's a
情報
degree
を
of
教え
luck
てあげ
when
る。
playing chess because there's a chance if you aim a gun at someone while you're playing chess with them that it might not hit them. I know. Pay attention now. You'll like this information.
この白の持ち駒には彼女を閉じ込めた場所が記されている。
Each of these white pieces has a location written within. Emily is on one of them. She's the queen, isn't she?
余裕があれば探してみるといい。どれが本物かは 行って確かめるしかないけどね。
Luck-based matchmaking is my favorite tournament style. If you feel you can afford to search for her during the game, be my guest. Just know that the only way to find her is to investigate directly.
ただし君も紳士ならチェスのルールにのっとってこの手駒を奪ってくれよ。
And you're to abide by the rules of chess when taking them. You're a gentleman, so it's only right you play a gentleman's game. Yeah, she's gonna be in the queen, huh? Lupin plucked a white piece and waggled it in the air to encourage Holmes.
望むところだ。
I wouldn't have it any other way. Thus the duel was to begin.
ホームズ、フォンに書いてあったロンドンとミドルタワーの2階。
She wasn't at the middle tower's first floor written in the pawn.
それにナイトにあったウォータール閉鎖。
She wasn't at the Waterloo barracks in the night either. Watson, why the hell are you paying? Oh, yeah, I guess it's like time skip stuff happening while they're playing the game. He's going to look for her.
ホームズ君、
You've done spectacular
僕
work
の
taking
駒
my
を奪うことに
pieces,
躍起になっていて
Monsieur
は
Holmes. But
肝心の勝
remember
負に
that
負
it
けて
means
しまうよ。
nothing if you lose the match. I thought he was just getting super turned on at this chess game. I love the way you play chess. Ooh. Is it not going to be either in the queen or the king? Sorry about that. Oh wait, Watson. Yeah, I assume it's in the queen or the king. I assume it's the queen because Lupin was like, I love my queens. I have a queen obsession. Lupin moved his bishop in an elegant stroke. I love the way you play chess. Is this Akeshu? I think this is. Detective X Phantom Thief?
勝負の決め手はどれだけ相手の戦力を潰したかじゃない。
The winner isn't determined by who whittles down the most of the enemy's numbers. Don't Jay, that's actually just the dynamic. I know it's definitely Shadow Milk / Pure Vanilla too. You have an archetype type that you like in Yaoi. I see. You right though?
どちらが先に相手のキングを仕留めるかだよ。
It is determined by who claims victory over the opponent's king. Didn't you say you've never lost?
言われなくても分かっているさ。
I know the rules. Lupin took one of Holmes's black knights.
ホームズ、やっぱり焦ってるんじゃ。
He's panicking. I'm sure of it.
でも彼女の居場所を突き止めるにはルパンの駒を奪うしかない。
We need to win, but we can only find her by playing the game wrong.
どうしたらホームズを勝たせられるんだ。
There has to be more to this. What can I do to give him the upper hand? I know, I'll just eat the chess pieces. But there was nothing. Watson could only wait and watch their battle. At the time, neither side was any closer to winning than the other. The tension between a criminal and the officer trying to catch them is pretty good, to be honest, right? We need more of that. We need more of that slow burn romance. And yet, as the duel went on, Holmes could feel himself being lulled into a contraption from which there was no escape. With every turn, he had fewer opportunities to steal Lupin's pieces. There's two types of criminals who say fuck the police.
もしこのゲームに勝っても
True.
必ずしも彼女を見つけられるわけじゃない。
Even if Holmes does win, that doesn't guarantee we'll find Emily. Got introduced to that dynamic via Batman and Catwoman and have never truly been the same since.
この勝負どうしても優位に立つのがルパンだ。何か起死回生できないのか。
It's been a fair game, but win or lose, Lupin still has some advantage. What can we do to turn the game to our favor? Watson glanced with a sweating brow to Holmes, whose nerves grew thinner with every decision.
ルパン、君の番だ。
It's your turn, Lupin.
The bitterness of which he said that was nearly palpable.
ホームズ、ワタさん。
ミスホワイトリー。
Hey, whoa, she escaped on her own?
ルパンに捕まったんじゃなかったのか？
Consider me surprised. We thought you'd been kidnapped by Lupin.
ごきげんよ
Good evening, Emily. She saw Lupin was going to lose and had to step in and stop it.
やっぱり君はせっかちだね。おとなしくいい子で待っていられないんだから。
Otherwise, the yaoi wouldn't be possible. Emily, being capable of escaping on her own? Something's wrong. She's trying to make Holmes lose on time. Such impatience. Could you not content yourself to wait for my return?
でも君なら
Oh, but I
必ず
did
こ
have
こへ
a
引き
feeling
寄
you
せられ
wouldn't
る
be
と思
able
っ
to
ていた
live
よ。
without me for much
特に
longer.
会いに。
So true, Lupin. So true. That's not Emily Holmes. It was him, Dio. It's Lupin's dad disguised as Emily.
ルパン、私は自分の意志でここに来たの。
I live and breathe perfectly well on my own, thank you.
ミスホワイトリ
What
ー。でも足も
happened to you?
傷だらけじゃない
Your
か。
arms and legs are covered in scrapes and scratches.
ええ、
I
ちょ
suppose
っと無理しちゃっ
it
た。
was quite the adventure to make it here.
But it's not as bad as it looks. Wow. I'm honestly surprised. Like, I thought for sure if she escaped it was just like Lupin made it easy for her to escape because he's a gentleman, but no, she actually got injured and stuff trying to escape. That just makes her escaping on her own more impressive.
正門からロンドン島の中に入れてもらう方
The
が。
hardest part was convincing the guard to let me through the front entrance, really. After securing them so I wouldn't fall, I hung the bed sheets from the window and used them as a rope to climb down. Once I landed, I rushed to the Tower of London straight away. Your arms and legs are covered in scratches. Oh, that wasn't just for me escaping. This cat showed up and didn't agree with me, so... I'd noticed Westminster Abbey was visible and used it as a guide, following the Thames until I reached the tower. Oh, I was covered in dirt by the end of it. My dress became an awful mess. And my hair! Couldn't imagine the state my hair was in now. Never dared to look when along the river. The journey, coupled with the urgency in which I moved, had been taxing on my legs. I would have given anything to rest at any point, but I didn't. I was here.
Whoa, instead of Holmes being less capable in his route, Emily actually became more capable. Where was this energy for Akechi's after ending? Emily, right? So you mean to tell me, when you get kidnapped by fucking Lupin, you're able to escape just fine. But when like the government has you kept in a hotel, you don't try to escape? Okay. Yaoi was on the line. She has her priorities straight, and they're absolutely not straight.
まったく
Mon Dieu.
あの部屋から自力で逃げて
Escape that room and came here on
こ
your
こに来るなんて
Truly, you
君は
are.
本当に
Lupin is a nicer kidnapper than the government.
ホームズ、
That is true.
ルパンはいついかなる時もクイーンを見捨てるようなこと
Lupin
はし
will
ないわ。
never turn his back on a queen.
だから
So,
負け
don't
ない
let him beat
で。
you.
ホームズ、
そういうことか。
Ah, now I understand.
君に言われずとも負けはしないさ、ミスホワイトリー。
I don't need you to tell me that, Miss Whiteley. I would never dream of losing.
ルパン、君の騎士道精神は見上げたものだ。君は確かな美学を持って生きている。
I'll admit, your chivalry is admirable. Your actions prove that you live in accordance with what you perceive to be beautiful.
君が僕のことを褒め
Lupin
るな
would
んて
never turn his back on a queen.
なんだか不思議
Damn,
な
so
気持ちだ
true
な。
of Lupin.
まあ事実だ
This
けど
is literally like Herlock is the if she breathes, she's a thought. And then Lupin's like, all women are queens. How very strange to be complimented by you. Not that you're wrong.
それで 君は何が言いたいんだい？
So, your point.
君は犯行現場には必ずクイーンのカードを残している。
You always leave a queen in the place of treasures you've stolen.
クイーンは君自身の象徴であり美学の象徴だ。
For you, a queen is a symbol for you, and a symbol of the aesthetic by which you live.
僕は君の美学に敬意をくれ。
Knights? Queens? To hell with that!
利用させてもらう。
Lupin, probably. Now that's probably more like Holmes.
僕はこの勝負には絶対に負けられないからな。
For this, my good man, is simply not a duel I can afford to lose.
推理をしている時とは違う。こんな必死で真剣な表情もするのに。
I've never seen that spark in his eyes before. He's always focused when working on a case, but there's nothing more to this.
But oh wait, but there's something more to this. Bleh. Interesting. However, crow attack. Voice actor misread the script. 2 bonks.
こんなに静かで緊張する勝負なんて初めて見るわ。
As quiet as it is, the air feels too tense for words.
ホームズ、負けないで。
You mustn't lose, Holmes. It was a black and white affair. Holmes at one end, Lupin at his, and the game continued uninterrupted. It only ended after what felt like an eternity.
チェックメイト。
Holmes's black queen had Lupin's white king in its sights.
見事だよ、ホームズ君。
Well played, Monsieur Holmes. Is this like accurate? Is this accurate like chess? Does this correlate with what's happening? I don't know. Though defeated, Lupin wore a very pleased grin, its contours illuminated further by the blanching moon. Are you asking us? I mean, Twy plays chess. Is this a legitimate game?
僕は自分の戦い方に誇りを持っている。
I take pride in the way I fight, you know.
このクイーンを守りきった僕に悔いなんて
She
ないよ。
remained to the very end. I have no regrets. Lupin gathered the white queen on the board into his palm.
僕は勝負において
Never
大
want to
切
lose
なもの
sight
を
of
見
what is
誤るこ
truly
とは絶
important
対
to
に
me
し
in
た
a
くない。
duel. If
その
that
結
leads
果
to
が
my loss,
たとえ
then
敗
so be
北だ
it.
としてもね。あ、そうそう。君たちと因縁のあるモラン大佐だけど。
Ah, and here, a fun tidbit for you regarding Colonel Morin.
彼は資金調達を目的にとある有名貴族と近々スペルバウンドの契約を交わす。
He plans to enter a contract with a nobleman of great celebrity and wealth in the near future. Lupin let Holmes win. He was perfectly set up to do the cum gambit and snatch victory, but chose to admit defeat to maintain route continuity. Good guy Lupin. Damn, so true of Lupin. He's like, well, I can't just let you lose. You look so hot when you think you're gonna defeat me.
その現場を抑えれば君の無実も証明できるんじゃないかな。
There's no guarantee, but perhaps catching him in the act will prove your innocence.
きっとキャリーフロントを殺した犯人もそこに同席しているはずだからね。
Madame Front's killer should be in his company as well. Tempting, no? If you look closely in the CG, you can see the beads coming out of Holmes's pants.
情報を漏らした君はこれからどうするんだ？
And where does that leave you? You're now guilty of leaking confidential information.
忘れてないか？僕はスペルバウンドの協力者である以前に鮮やかさと華麗さを兼ね備えた大怪盗なんだ。
Have you forgotten who I am? Above spellbound, above all else, I am a gentleman thief, a man who dazzles in the sun and leaves naught but magnificence in his wake. Also, unrelated, but there's a mall in Florida that has big chess pieces you can move and play with friends. Very fun way to pass time. Ooh,
僕は僕の道を行く。
that does sound
それ
really
は誰にも
fun.
譲れないよ。
I live my life my way, and God help anyone who would try to stop me.
ホームズ君、君にも譲れないものができたみたいだね。
Speaking of which, my congratulations on finding a similar passion for something. Lupin tossed an object in Holmes's direction. Oh, is he giving back the diamond? He caught it with ease mid-air.
黒のナイト。
I guess not. What's this? A black knight?
ホームズ君、君とはまた戦いたい。今度は彼女のハートをかけてね。
Victory is yours today, and I would never turn down a rematch with you, Monsieur Holmes. What shall we wager then? Ah, Emily's heart will do.
何を勝手なことを。
Pardon? You can't decide that.
だからそれまでは
Until
彼女
then,
の
I
ナイトと
expect
し
you
て
to
名
remain worth
探
my
偵とし
while
て
to defeat,
僕に倒
both
され
as
るに
her
ふさわ
knight
しい相手
and
であって
as
く
a
れ。
detective.
君に
I don't need you to tell me.
今度会うときは
As for you, Emily,
僕も遠慮し
when
な
we
いか
meet,
ら
I
楽
will
しみにし
pursue
て
you
いて
with
くれ。
all the man I am. Promise to wait for me.
誰が楽しみになんて。
I'll wait for you.
I'll run in the other direction.
He never responded or even gave a proper farewell. He simply walked to the edge of the rooftop, jumped, and disappeared into the well of darkness.
胸焼けしそう
Very
なことばっ
wordy
かり言う
spouts
やつだ
gives
った
me
な
heartburn.
ルパンって
That sounds kind of gay, Watson.
大丈夫？
How are you, Emily?
す
You
ぐ傷
look
だら
like
け
you've
だけ
been
ど
put through a terrible ordeal.
え
You've met with a
このくらい
terrible fate,
え。なんて
haven't
ことない
you?
わ。怪我したわけじゃないし。
Much better.
大丈夫よ。
They're only little scratches, so it's nothing particularly painful.
あ
That's good.
あ、俺
I'll
先に行
go
って
fetch
ペンデルトンさん
Pendleton
を呼んでくるよ。
Since he's waiting outside the
君
tower,
を心配して
he was very
ロンド
worried
ン島の
about
外
you,
れで
you
待っ
know?
ていてくれたんだ。早く君の無事を
We'd
教え
best
ない
have
と
you
な。
tell him you're alright sooner than later. Watson made his way down the stairs. And then there were two, me and Holmes. He was gazing out the way Lupin had left the scene. I could only watch him. The silence, grew unbearable. I so badly wanted to speak.
さすがホームズね。あんな状況でもヒント一つで見事に勝てたんだから。
You were spectacular, Holmes.
All it took was a tiny hint for you to turn the match around and win. Yearning while the heroine is in the room. It's a little gay. Okay behavior.
あ
I suppose.
What was I doing? It wasn't what I wanted to say to him. But in lieu of nonsense, what could I say? Forgive me for worrying you. I know I've been a burden on you. Was he feeling disappointed in me? Angry with me?
Is Uke the bottom? Yeah, Uke is the bottom. Seme is the top.
I tried to help him, but I failed. I failed again and again and again.
And such a truth was heavy on my heart. What is this? Have you forgotten who I am? That fruity twink from Persona 5. Above spellbound and above all else, I am a gentleman thief. A man who dazzles in the sun and leaves naught but magnificence in his wake.
Why was it so difficult to speak?
Holmes?
He didn't answer, which terrified me that much more.
Holmes, どうしたの？どこか具合が悪いとか？大丈夫？
Are you alright, Holmes? Have you taken ill? Again, no answer. I reached out towards him with caution.
本当に君ってやつは
Why are you always like this? A sudden outburst made me freeze to the spot.
I cannot touch him, but he drew closer to me instead, gripping both my shoulders.
What is this? Just found out about periods. Why would God do this to our women? I feel like Holmes is the type of person that was like, just found out about periods. I think it should happen once a week instead of once a month. I think women should bleed more.
He did so with such strength that I could only flinch.
Oh man. Didn't know there's a new Hugh Luca comic. No, oh no, I gotta look at that later. Oh no. God, he would, wouldn't he? I think women need to be humbled more. Weekly periods.
こんな時でも人の心配だなんて
You're a
救いようのな
hopeless
い
fool.
愚か者だな
How can
君
you
は
worry about someone else after all you've been through?
僕が君のことをどれだけ心配したと思ってるんだ
Do you have any idea how afraid I was? Here, I'll send the English translation thread I found. Oh, thank you!
His eyes were so firmly fixed on me that I didn't know what to do.
Just found out about periods. Why would God only do this once a month and not one a week? So true. So true. Yeah, this one's going on the fridge. Whoops. Hold on. Where'd it go? Where'd my source go? Whoops. No, 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 no. Do that. There we go. Wait, you can't read it. Sorry, dwarf. Now you can read it.
He sounded angry, but far more than that, his words conveyed just how concerned he had been for me. He looked at me like he would go pale if I were gone again. He held my shoulders like I would blow away with the wind. His intent was pure, beyond doubt. He was terrified of losing me.
I promised Pendleton that I would take care of you. If I didn't, he said he was gonna shoot me in the forehead.
And as that realization came, I could feel a certain warmth return to me. A happiness I didn't know I could feel.
何か言わなくちゃ
I should say something. I need to say something to him.
ごめん
I'm so sorry. I'd found my voice. As the words left my lips, my eyes began to well to the point where my vision blurred.
心配をかけて
I'm so sorry for worrying you.
ごめんなさい
Truly, truly sorry. It was difficult to see, but his expression was so suddenly frantic that it only then dawned on me what was happening. It had been a long time since I last cried in front of someone. But after seeing his face, I couldn't suppress the tears.
君は
Are
泣いているのか
you crying?
違うの
Buck up,
これ
loser.
はねホームズ
You're such a crybaby.
嫌だとか悲しいんじゃなくて
Maybe if you had a period once a week, that would strengthen you.
No, I'm not unhappy or sad. I'm...
Yells at woman, shocked when said woman bursts into tears. Incel Holmes moment. Watson, are you seriously talking during independent reading time?
The night brought forth a grim reality to me. I was an anchor chained to his legs, a weight beyond physical measure. A part of him had to hate me for it. I wanted to know, but at the same time, knowing meant I could no longer stay with him.
I am a burden.
Every insecurity that bubbled in my mind was quelled by seeing him like this. He was angrier than I'd ever seen him, and so afraid he couldn't control it. All because of me.
I am a burden. You said it, Emily, not me.
It made me happier than I could put into words. I love being a burden on people. The more I tried to stop crying, the harder it became to breathe. So I only cried some more.
私
I'm just
嬉しくて
so happy, relieved that
ほっとしちゃって
ミス・ホワイトリー
Oh shit. We are being spoiled with CGs.
今はまだ何
You
も言わ
don't
な
need
く
to
ていい。
say anything right now. The way he spoke was quiet and a comfort. His grip loosened. I could feel his one hand trickle from my shoulders to the back of my head. My hair must have been filthy to the touch. If it was, he didn't act like it. His fingers weaved through with a delicacy that intended to only console me. I was surprised. He's normally not like this. They normally tell me that I'm a stinky pooper diaper baby. Thank you for the raid, Crystal! Oh my god, thank you so much! Paladin raid! Were you playing more Yakuza? Hello, hello! Hi everyone coming in from Crystal's raid. My name is Eliolapi. I'm a bunny from outer space. I like playing visual novels, JRPGs, and RPG Maker horror games. Right now we are playing London Detective Mysteria, which is a game with like famous fiction characters like Sherlock Holmes and all that. Right now we're playing Holmes's route, and we just got rescued from being held captive by Arsène Lupin's child. Oh, what is this? Are you okay? Are you hurt? Shut up, Emily. Please just shut the fuck up. Yeah, Lupin the Second. Yeah, Lupin the Second. He then drew me close to him. The consideration Holmes showed could be felt in how he pulled me in. There's no hesitation from worry and willingness from desire, and together it made even the air around us feel soft. Can't say I know much about him. Yeah, you know a lot about Lupin the Third, though, I'm sure. Yes, stinky pooper diaper baby. But yes, I was playing Pirate Yakuza. It's so fun. It's a musical? What? Oh my god. Lupin the Third is my favorite. Yeah, I think I remember. You and Leonix both really like Lupin the Third, huh? I guess you guys have something in common. You guys definitely don't have the things you redeem in common. Bun Bun, it is the best. I'll have to watch it sometime then. Maybe Nick Cage should be in a Lupin the Third movie so we can watch it. The consideration Holmes showed could be felt in how he pulled me in. There was hesitation from worry. No, oh wait, I already read that. This is so warm. Being in his arms felt like a dream. I still cried, but he made me feel calmer for doing so.
君が無事でよかった。
I'm so glad you're safe. The Pirate Yakuza is amazing. That's really cool. I had no idea it was a musical. His voice was right next to my ear. I closed my eyes, the better to hear that sweet voice, and the better to feel the way his arms wrapped around me. Pew, 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 pew. I didn't have to see to know it. I was safe. And being this safe, I could finally stop crying.
ありがとう。
It's like Yakuza meets Dynasty Warriors meets Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. And the first chapter ends with a full-on musical number. It's amazing. Whoa. I need to get caught up on Yakuza. Thank you, Holmes.
ミス・ホワイトリー
I couldn't be certain whether I had even managed to properly say it to him. All I knew was that I could feel my consciousness gradually slipping from me in his warmth. Ooh. Ooh. Colonel Morn's Revenge. Is this the last chapter of his route? Because I feel like typically... I don't know. I have no idea if, like, this is going at the same pace as other routes or not. You don't need to play the other Yakuza games. They have the flimsiest excuse to have this game exist. Majima has amnesia. Now he's a pirate. Go have fun. That's it. That's all you have. Okay. Well, I'll at least beat Yakuza 0, so I know about Majima. There was a lapse in time that I cannot remember, for I did not dream,
blackness, and then the faint twittering of birds. I think the only two Yakuza game. Oh, excuse me. I think I only own Zero and Kiwami. That was it. Those are the two I own. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god. I'm not a fish. I'm not a fish. Stop hiccuping. Oi! I'm not a fish. Stop thinking you're a fish. Oi, I oughta. Unfortunately, you have been deemed fish. What, Bun? You know the not a fish thing? Yep. Hold on, I guess the not a fish thing isn't working today. Let me drink some water. Hopefully that helps satisfy the fish in me. Okay, there we go. I got that fish in me. Inside me, there are two animals, a bunny and a fish. I see Lenix's lenience for my helping with your lappy is over. Right? There's a lapse in time that I cannot... Oh yeah, I already read that. It was nice while it lasted, wasn't it? You let Crystal off for one day. I opened my eyes to their song.
お目覚めのようですね。おはようございます、お嬢様。
You've finally woken up. A pleasant morning to you, my lady. I cannot be sure, but certainly a large amount of time must have passed. When I saw Pendleton, there was a distinct feeling that it had been too long since we last conversed. Jeez, about to buy Bun Bun a car to get undisturbed ears? No, he would crash. Oi! I think I can drive a car alright. I don't have a license, but I think I could drive it fine. It may have been his features, which were still perfect even when graced by fatigue. No, he would crash. Huh? I was about to say, you don't have a license. Okay, I buy him a car and hire him a driver named Jeeves. Yeah, then I'm good. I'm set then. It may have been his features, which were still perfect even when graced by fatigue. Pendleton, have you been at my side all this time?
いえ、
But
そろ
he's
そ
a
ろお
me.
目覚めの
I'll
時
go
間だろうと
outside. If
様子を
I
見に
have a
来た
car,
だけ
I would go outside. Where would he go? I would go to the cat library, idiot. I go to the cat library and the zoo and the aquarium and the amusement park and get ice cream and go to the observatory. Regrettably not. I simply thought it was about time for you to wake and came to check on you. Yeah, to the game shop, exactly. That too. Yeah, the cat library, idiot. I love the cat library. I slowly sat upright on the bed. As the haze from the sleep that stifled the mind began to lift, the events of before fell into an organized timeline. Disorientation left me, and with its loss was the conclusion that the match between Lupin and Holmes could not have possibly been more than a day ago after all. Forgive me for all the worry I caused you yesterday. Okay, get him the car and the driver, and I won't touch those ears. Gotta run for a bit. Have a good stream, Bun Bun. Love ya. Oh, see you later, Crystal. Thank you again for the raid. Until that day comes. Oh no.
え
And worry
え、
I
ですが
did.
ご無事で何よ
But
りです
you're here now.
疲れて眠りに落ちたお嬢様を
After your collapse,
ホームズ君が
Holmes
私のと
carried
こ
you
ろ
all the way
へ運んで
here
きてく
to
れまし
ensure
た
your
し
safety. I remember. I was so at ease in his arms that I was lulled to sleep.
そのまま眠ってしまったんだわ。なんだか
A terribly unladylike thing to do. Even if I rather enjoyed it and thought it was hot.
確かに嬉しかったんだけど。
My face and heart gained a sudden pulse of warmth upon the thought.
ホームズにあんな風にギュッとされるなんて。
I still cannot believe Holmes is the type of man who would embrace me so.
しかも眠っている私を運んで。
And then to carry me in his arms? Goodness.
We've gone from the soon part of tsundere into the dere part of tsundere.
ペンデルトン、昨日ホームズが私を運んだって言ってたけど、それって。
Pendleton? When you say he carried me, how do you mean?
He bridal carried you.
ええ、大切なものを抱えるようにそっと優しく運んでくれましたよ。
He did as one would carry something truly precious to them. With delicacy, my lady.
I'm surprised he didn't just throw me onto the bed.
Like I was a rock.
Oh. That only served to make my heart race with a greater intensity. Pendleton, apparently holding no desire to tease me on the issue, then reached into his pocket and presented a piece of paper.
This is a restraining order I filed against Holmes. You are unable to see him from now on.
お嬢様、その時に彼から渡されたメモです。
Holmes filed the restraining order. He hates your guts. He handed this to me after entrusting you to me incidentally.
ホームズが私に。
Is it for me then? I immediately recognized the neat handwriting as Holmes's and read it aloud.
今後しばらく自分は学園への通学を控える。
I intend to take a leave of absence from the academy.
君は通常の生活を送り、僕の詮索は控えるように。
In that time, I would prefer you live as you always have. Please, refrain from associating yourself with me.
What is this?
常に身辺の安全に注意を払い、私の警護を受けるようにとのことでした。
He also advised that you take expert caution of your surroundings and allow me to guard you.
ホームズが
He did?
そう言ったの。
はい。お嬢様を私に託した時に
I was to pass along the
伝えて
message
ほ
to
しい
you
と。
once you were awake. Holy shit. Oh my god. Sherrybot just murdered 2 people.
The rapidness in my chest changed from pleasant to piercing, at first dull. And yet, there was an underlying pain I could not make sense of.
まるで私にもう近づくなと言っているみたい。
Good bot.
あんなに優しくしてくれたのに。
Hold on. I need to tell him that he's a good bot.
信じたくない。
That was 2 people.
How could he tell me to stay away from him? He would say this after how kind he was? How close we were?
This can't be true. That's because he's a tsundere.
納得できないといったお顔ですね。
Your face tells me that you don't want to accept this.
お嬢様、どうか彼の
Be
気持
that
ちを
as
察
it
してあげ
may,
てくださ
I
い。
do hope you will try to understand his state of mind when writing
よく
this
考え
letter.
た結果行き着いた結
This
論
was
の
no
はず。
easy decision on his part to make.
危険に巻き込みたく
I
ない。
understand that he doesn't want to put me in
それは
danger.
私も分かっているわ。でも
But Holmes cannot
ホーム
resist
ズ
a
は事件に
case.
引き寄せられ
I
る。
wish to do what I can to help.
私は彼のためにできる限りのことをしたいのに、会って話したい
And
ことも
there's so much I dearly wish to discuss
た
with
くさん
him.
あるのに。
ではお嬢
Well,
様、
my lady, if you'll excuse
私に
me,
は朝
I
食の
must
準備
prepare
があり
your
ますので。
breakfast.
今まで
I
だ
don't
って
give a shit.
ホームズには
Holmes has done so much to help me since we met.
それに甘えて、これ以上ホームズの足を引っ張ることはできないわ。
Again, okay. I think we got another root W. I guess Watson's just sucked. Cause this feels accurate. And like Holmes was being like really gentle the last time, but you could also see like the frustration in him, which feels accurate for Holmes's characterization too. Like it doesn't really feel out of character. Yeah, Emily character development. Whoa. Yeah, I like this. There's still time. Well, I don't know. I feel like if Emily's trying to strive to be a better person for Holmes, I think I'll come out of it enjoying it.
I only wish I could do the same. To be his support rather than a hindrance. Whilst swimming in dampening thoughts, I noticed something on the table next to the bed.
この手袋
I forgot to give his gloves back.
ホームズに返しそびれちゃったわね。本当に困るわ。
How else is he gonna do a half-baked Furioso now? Why did he have to give them to me?
If they somehow royally fuck up this route in the end, well, at least we still have Akechi as the golden standard. True.
自分は寒いのを我慢して。私にはこんなことするなんて。
His fingers must have been absolutely frozen in that weather. But he endured without complaint just for me.
なんでもない顔して。そんな優しいこと。
Why did he do something so kind? As if it meant nothing.
And hey, still better than Watson's route. Which was just a headache for a majority of it. For real. I'm not getting like big headaches during this route, so I appreciate that.
My hands are shaking. My vision blurred again.
おかしいわ。私、こんなに泣き虫じゃなかったはずなのに。
What is the matter with me? I never cried like such a child before.
またホームズは
She's been poisoned again.
I wonder if Holmes is off fighting alone again.
私はもうホームズの力には。
Why is my phone going off?
Is there really nothing I can do? At all?
What? Why is my phone going off? Hold on. Just got like 3 sound beeps from my phone. Hold on, let me check. Guess I better turn on the light in my room too, because it's getting dark. I guess it was just Venmo. I guess it just processed my payment.
Is there really nothing I can do? At all? A single teardrop fell on my guitar. Fell atop the gloves. Then another, and another. I wanted to stop. How I wanted to stop. I was a bigger girl than this. But I couldn't control the urge. I cried until it erupted into an awful, ugly wail. The birds, meanwhile, continued their blissful song.
Holmes was preoccupied. There's nothing exciting for a kept man to do on the surface, but he still found something of note, and it became such an intriguing something that it grabbed his full attention. This was how he came to spend the day, lounging in his armchair, the Black Knight in hand.
それ
Is that the one from
ルパンのお前に投げた
Lupin?
駒か
Would it be from anyone else, Holmes? Of Watson?
ああ、ご丁寧にも。中に
It
は
is.
1
The
から
man
10
was
まで
ever
記
so
され
gracious to
たメモ
stuff
が
a
入って
note
いた
full of information inside. To prove it, Holmes showed Watson its bottom, which was indeed hollow. He then proceeded to read the contents of the note in a dull, knowing tone.
スウェーリング男爵の家系は代々 リバプールの権力者だった。
Baron Swaling's family were initially very influential figures in the city of Liverpool.
先々代がリバプールからロンドンに移住し、先代がリーデンホールストリートに銀行会社を設立。
2 generations ago, however, they moved to London, and the current Baron's father established a banking company along Lidenhall Street.
3代目の彼は銀行の頭取
He's
であ
now
り、
the head of the bank
国の
and a
設け
member
た
of the Gold and
金
Silver
銀業貨幣
Commission
委員
appointed
会
by the
のメンバー
government.
でもある。近年は社会事業にも積極的で、大学への寄付も行っている。
In recent years, he has also been devoting himself to social work, donating to universities, amongst other things.
そんな奴がスペルバウンドと手を結ぶのか？社会に貢献してるし、貴族の鏡じゃないか。
Does that sound like someone who would shake hands with Spellbound to you?
He sounds the most. Wait. He sounds the model nobleman to me. Listen, Watson. All rich people are villains. To get rich, you gotta step on people. Or just be very, 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 very lucky.
先代が銀行を設立してから、周囲の銀行会社は次々と倒産した。
Ever since his father established the company, others in the area have gone bankrupt one after the next.
中にはただの経営難ではなく、幹部役員や会長が行方不明、もしくは強盗に殺害された会社もある。
Some cases were due to simple financial difficulties, but others had key executives go missing or even murdered in muggings.
Holmes folded the note and returned it to the Black Knight's hollow. Oh, whoops. Whoops.
彼も犯罪組織スペルバウンドの関係者ってことなのか？
And so you suspect that he may have been involved with Spellbound?
僕は男爵の管轄にある銀行周辺を調査する。
Investigate the area around the banks under the Baron's jurisdiction.
ワトソン君、君には
As for you, Watson,
俺は男爵の屋敷を調べるよ。監視付きのお前より俺の方が向いてるだろ。
I'm to investigate the Baron's mansion. You can't very well do it under the police watch, can you?
あ、頼むよ。
you have my thanks.
それにしても
I have to say,
手がかりを
someone
得たに
who's
して
been
は
given an incredible
深い
lead.
顔だな。
You're looking far too glum.
It's because I rejected Emily.
別にそんなことはない。
That's just your
気にしすぎだぞ。
imagination. I'm thrilled.
そうか？
Are you?
じゃあ
Then I want to
一つ
ask
ホー
you
ムズに聞い
something.
ておきたいんだけどさ。お前本当にいいのか？彼女のこと。
This is kind of like a mirror of what happened in Watson's route, because I'm pretty sure, like, from what I remember, like, Watson rejected Emily and stuff because he was on, like, emo hours, and then Holmes was like, you're such a fucking idiot. Go chase after her, you dumbass.
You sure you're satisfied with how it's been handled? With Emily.
何も言わずに距離を置くなんて彼女を傷つけるだけじゃないのか？
I think putting so much distance between you two without explanation will only hurt her, really.
僕は確実に彼女
I
を
chose the
守れる
best
手
way
段
I
を
could
選ぶ。
ensure her protection. That is all.
そうして彼女の
Without
気持ちは
considering
無視
her
ってわ
heart?
けか？
What if the news had left her
なるほど。
sobbing?
泣いているかもしれないぞ。ホームズ
I wonder how someone so bright can be so beef-headed
頭はいい
sometimes.
け
I
ど
really
バカだ
do.
な。
なぜ僕が君に
Must I
バ
sit
カ呼ば
here
わり
and
され
bear
なけれ
being
ば
called
なら
an
ないん
idiot
だ。
by you? You are one of the least qualified to be able to call someone an idiot, Watson.
ホームズは怖いんだろ？
You're afraid, aren't you?
彼女を守
About
り
if
きれ
you
るか
can
どうか
protect her or not. Never seen your
こんなに自信な
confidence
さ
so
そうなお
shaken
前。
before.
初めて見るからな。男は女の子の一人や
A
二
man
人
needs courage and then
軽く
some to
抱え
look
られる
after
く
a
らいの
woman
度胸がない
properly.
とダメなんだぞ。
君は実に簡単に言って
You
くれ
make
る
it。sound so simple.
僕がどんな気持ちで
Do you have any idea how
この決断を下したのか。
difficult it was for me to
わかるか？
make this decision?
わかるわけない
How
だろ。
could I know?
お前は辛
The
ければ
harder a
辛いほど
situation is on
周り
you,
を遠
the
ざけよう
harder you
と
work
す
to
る。
push everyone away
一人で
so you
解
can
決しよう
solve
と
it
するんだ。
yourself. It's always been that way.
苦しい時に
How
苦
do you
しい
think it makes me feel to watch you
必要な時に
suffer in
助けてくれって
silence?
言われな
To
い。
notice how you never turn to me when you need someone most? For God's sake, Holmes. I guess that's why they they gave us like the flashback with Roy to show that like this is a frequent thing Holmes does to people that he cares about.
ワトソン君、僕は
Watson, I
彼女を泣かせるような
don't
こ
do
とはするな
something
よ
that would just make
ホー
her
ムズ
cry, Holmes.
見てるこっちも結構辛いんだからさ
It's getting harder for me to watch the two of you, you know. You know I had a crush on her when we were children, right? And you still went after her. What about the bro code, man? Frustrated as he was, Watson still gave Holmes a light, encouraging pat to the shoulders before retiring. Perhaps it worked, perhaps it did not. Whatever the answer, Holmes merely stayed in place to further contemplate his misfortunes.
自信がないか。
So, I lack confidence, do I?
まったく、君には何でもお見通しだな。
There we have it. You truly do see through everything.
あれがスウェーリング男爵の屋敷か
Oh well.
さすが
Baron Swayling must be right bang up on...
確
Wait,
か
huh?
ここ一帯
Baron
の敷地すべて
Swayling
が
must be
所有
right
地って
bang
言
up
って
to
た
the elephant if his mansion is any indication. Oh, I guess that's saying that he's rich? And he owns all the land here too, does he? I've never heard that, like, saying before. So I was like, wait, the fuck are you talking about an elephant? Huh? Beyond magnificent gates worth more than most make in a year was a mansion worth more than what most would see in their lifetime. All were tied together by a lovely English garden.
スペルバウンドとのつながりを
But
確かめように
how
は
am I to go about this? I can't
直接聞くわけには
strut through the
いかないしな。
entrance and ask if he's involved with Spellbound. Apparently it means complete, perfect, and properly done, huh?
んひょっとして
Interesting.
あれが男爵か
Why an elephant? Wait, could that be him? He spotted a man moving at a brisk pace, his servants seemingly marching with the unified stiffness of soldiers behind their general. His wealth was flaunted in 3 distinct parts: a neatly trimmed mustache, a tidy black suit, and a glistening black walking stick that rapped the ground to its own rhythm.
随分新しいな
They sure look to be in
馬
a
車で出か
rush.
けるみたいだけど
Oh, he's sporting a carriage.
急に出かけるなんて
Why has them running off in
一体
such a
どこに行くん
hurry?
だつけてみる価
Only
値は
one
あ
way
り
to
そう
find
だ
out,
な
I suppose. Next morning at Holmes and Watson's Baker Street flat proved eventful.
ホームズ
Holmes, you
あなた
got
の
a
手紙よ
letter?
ああ、すまないな。
Thank you,
Miss
Miss
Hudson.
Hudson.
ワトソンはまだ帰って
Is
こないの
Watson still not back?
君が心配するようなことじゃない。すぐに戻ってくるさ。
He's not, but there's no need to worry. He'll be back soon.
でも出かけていったのは昨日でしょ
But we haven't heard a peep since he left.
2、3日出かけるなんて
Is that so
よくある
unusual?
話だ。
He's gone out for 2 or 3 days at a time on a number of occasions, hasn't he?
それよりもミス・ハドソン、僕に
Now,
手
if you
紙を
don't
渡しに来たん
mind,
だろ
the letter.
これよ
Right. Here it is. Holmes's hand was impatiently hanging in the air for something to be placed upon it, and Hudson obliged. The envelope itself was white and plain. There's nothing to indicate its sender.
書かれているのは宛名だけか。
How odd that it has only my name on it.
黒い服に身を包んだ男の人が
Oh,
これを渡してきたの
spellbound.
私が受け取ったら黙ってすぐにいなくなっちゃったわ
A man dressed in black handed it to me right outside. As soon as I accepted, he vanished without another word. Holmes unsealed the envelope, removed the letter, and began to read.
これは
It says... He'd opened his mouth as if to share with Hudson its contents, but with alarmingly quick movement, he instead crumpled the letter brutally with his right hand.
くそ。
They kidnapped Watson, didn't they? Now Watson's the damsel in distress. Damn it all.
どうしたの一体なんて書いてあったの
What is it? What does it say?
それに何か封筒から落ちたみたいだけど
And something's falling out of the envelope too. Did you see it? First anger, then dread. What accompanied the letter drained all color from Holmes's face. Is it a bomb?
あのバカ。不用意にスウェーリング男爵を尾行したな。
Is it Emily's time to shine as Holmes's assistant? I think so. Well, Emily did resolve to not be that much of a burden, so I guess it's Watson's time to be a burden. That fool. Must have looked too far into Baron Swayling. Holmes muttered his botherations under his breath, only just so Hudson could happen to hear, storming about the flat and gathering his things, which were never in their proper place, erratically in preparation to leave.
ちょっとホームズ、一体どこ行くの？
Wait, Holmes? Where are you going?
待ってたら、何か大変なことが書かれていたんでしょ？それなら誰かに知らせて。
Please, give me a moment. Whatever that letter said, it was something terrible, wasn't it? Then you ought to tell some...
ミス・ハドソン、その必要はない。
I will tell no one, Miss Hudson.
特に彼女には絶対に言うな。
And you're not to tell anyone either. Not her, not anyone.
彼女って。
Her? Emily?
Holmes did not answer, for he had already exited the flat. I guess it's time for me to tell Emily then.
あ、ホームズ、待ってちょうだい。
Please, Holmes, wait!
I wondered why it felt like so long since I set foot into Harrington Academy. It had not been long at all in reality, but perhaps not attending lessons made my schoolmates feel similarly. They cooed and coddled me, helping me however they could when I was even modestly lost. And although I made my return, Holmes and Watson did not. I behaved as if everything were normal, of course. I never wished to cause undue worry for everyone. But when the time for lunch arrived and their seats remained empty, that uncomfortable murkiness stared to well within my chest again. It became too much to pretend, so I made my way to the courtyard for some privacy. Upon my arrival, someone very unexpected was waiting for me. Is it Lupin? Oh, Hudson.
Emily! Something terrible's happened!
ハドソン、一体どうしたの？あなたが学園まで来るなんて。
What is it, Hudson? It's unusual to see you here.
Something had riled Hudson quite splendidly, enough for her to return all the way here with barely any breath to spare.
It's Holmes!
ホームズ宛てに手
I
紙
got
が
given
届い
a
たの。
letter this morning, you see?
で、ホーム
As
ズそ
soon
の
as
手
he
紙を
read
見
the
るなり、
thing, he dashed out straight away!
玄関で監視の警官が止めた
The
けど、
officer on guard at the door made to stop him naturally, but Holmes said about him awfully good with a solid punch, and then he...
Uh-oh. Bonnie, do Bonnie say meow or woof? We say pew pew! Hey there, Thunder Dude.
ホームズが
Hope
そ
you're
ん
doing
なに追い詰め
good.
られるなんて。手紙には
It's like him to
What
lose his
is it?
composure to such an extent. Do you know the contents of the letter?
それが
He didn't show
ホー
me.
ムズは教えて
He
くれ
said
な
not
く
to
て、
tell you anything too, but
それ
I...
あなたには言うなって言われたんだけど、私。そうだったの。
There, there. Thank you for telling me.
教えてくれてありがとう。
Pew, pew! Pew, pew! Pew, pew!
I stroked Hudson's head as to... what? I stroked Hudson's head as one would to a younger sister.
でもその時、ワト
Did
ソンは一緒
Watson
じゃな
not
か
go
った。
with him?
それが
In the letter,
封筒の中に
There was this.
これが一緒に入ってたの。
Hudson revealed a wrapped white handkerchief from her pocket. As she opened it, I thought my heart would stop. Oh my god, it's the bandage that's been on Watson's face for like 10 years.
これって。
It can't be.
My breathing stopped for certain. Settled in the white was the familiar color of chestnut, a clump of hair. I knew who it belonged to immediately. What made it more unsettling still was the second color present. Dark red. Blood.
これ、ワト
This
ソン
is
の髪。
Hudson's hair! It is, isn't it? When I didn't respond, the tears bubbling from her grew ready to overflow.
しっかりし
You
な
must stay calm.
I won't be of any help if I let fear win the battle.
Oh god, that Herlock meme. Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it, Twy?
大丈夫よ
It'll be alright, Hudson. I started my voice as best as I could and placed my hand on her shoulder. Oh, thank you for the hide. Wait. And thank you for taking a moment. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Oh, god damn it. I knew eating that would make me hiccup again. I am not a fish. I am not a fish. Hey, I'm not sure if I have the time to make a pizza. Is Skullgirl starting soon? It should start in like half an hour. Oh god, let me drink some water. Ugh. But even then, I'm gonna take a little break to eat too. If you're not a fish, why did you whisper blub blub?
Yeah, I probably have time. Yeah, you should be good.
I started my breath as best as I could and placed my hand on her shoulder.
ワトソンはホームズを
You
呼
enjoy
び出
your
すための
pizza,
人質
Linux?
簡単に手を出したりしないわ
That means they're using Watson as a hostage to force Holmes to come to them, so they'll have to be delicate with him.
でもこの髪の毛についてるのって血でしょ
But that's blood on his hair, isn't it?
ワトソンが強いのはハドソンも知ってるでしょ
You and I know what an ox he is.
そう簡単
I
に
bet
や
a
られた
blood
りな
won't
ん
be
かしな
enough
い
to
わ
hurt him.
それにホームズが助けに行ってるんだものすぐに帰ってくるわ
And remember, Holmes has gone to fetch him, so the two will be home in all smiles in no time.
Is Emily gonna have to rescue them? I would like to see that, honestly.
I suppose you're right, but I can't help it, Emily.
And that would be some nice inversion compared to how Emily is the damsel for all of the other routes, saving one of her love interests.
I cannot blame her. I knew very well how fanciful my words sounded.
ホームズたった一人で行くなんてって無茶なことを
What on earth was Holmes thinking by going alone?
誰も危険に巻き込みたくないからなの
Was it the danger? Did he not want to chance anyone else's safety?
Absolutely would love to see Emily actually get to do detective stuff herself instead of just playing second fiddle / damsel. Yeah.
何も
That'd
言
be
わずに
really
ワトソンの
nice.
元へ向かったのは
Or
私が
did
足
he
手
think
まと
I
いだ
would
か
be
ら
a hindrance to his efforts? It was a pitiful thought, but the more the possibility lingered, the more the morning's tears threatened to come right back.
Yeah, if she does save them, she's been like thinking of herself as like a hindrance, thinking that Holmes doesn't want to associate with her because of how she gets herself in danger. So I think realistically, her saving them from a situation would be really nice, like continuing on that theme of like Holmes being like, I guess you're not as like much of a burden or like useless or like having issues being with me than I thought you were, you know?
It was a pitiful thought, but the more the possibility lingered, the more the morning's tears threatened to come right back.
二人を助けた
I
い
want to help him, even if my effort is small.
ホームズ
I
の
want to
力に
save
な
them.
りたいここで私が動いたら
What if trying to help results in something
またホームズ
worse?
の迷惑になってしまうんじゃ
Take Glock, Emily. It's time to wield a gun. You got the black gloves. Use the atelier logic.
Determination became hesitation, swirling around and tightening my throat in a grip that made it difficult to speak. Is this the most I could do?
お願いがあるの。
I want to ask you a favor, Emily.
ハドソン、
Hudson?
ワトさんを。
Please, save Hudson. No,
ホームズ
save
とワトさんを
Hudson.
助けてあげて。あなたの言う通り、
You're right.
ワトさんも
Watson
頑
is
丈
an
だし、
ox,
ホームズ
and
も
Holmes
強
is
い
strong
わ。
in his own
私も
right.
よく知ってる。
I've seen how they are.
でも、
But their strength alone isn't gonna cut
あ
it.
なたがいなくちゃ
They
ダ
need
メ
you.
よ。
Holmes
特にホームズ
needs
に
you.
は。
あ
どうして？
Why?
だってホームズ、
Holmes has a talent for knowing when others are lying,
自
but
分が
he's
嘘を
just
つくの
awful
が
at
下手
telling
なんだ
them
もの。
himself.
私が誰かに伝えよ
All
うと
I
したら、
said was that we
慌
should
てて
tell
彼女には
someone.
言うなって
And what did he say? Not to tell you, whilst he was in a panic.
それくらい
That says just how much you're on his mind,
あ
doesn't
なた
it?
のことでいっぱいってことでしょ。ハドソン、
I can't imagine that was
ホー
why
ム
he
ズはそ
mentioned
んなつ
me.
もりで私の名前を言ったんじゃない
He
と思うわ。
probably just didn't want me to walk into an Acme warehouse again.
私は事件のことを他
I'm
の
more
人より
involved
知っ
with
てる
this
か
than
ら。
most others, so it's
So they
only
did
natural to think.
もう
Ugh,
それ
this
も
is
こ
all
れも
Holmes' fault
ホ
for
ーム
not
ズがあ
being
なたに
nice
素
enough
直
to
に
you.
優しくしないからいけないのよ。あんなに強いあな
You
た
were
を
so
た
strong.
だの臆
We
病な
molded
女
you
の子にし
into
ちゃっ
this
たんだから。
weak lamb.
探偵としては一流か
The
もしれない
first-rate
けど、
detective. We
紳
all
士
know
としては
that.
三
We
流
gotta
だね。
tell him off for being a second-rate gentleman.
You tell him. You tell him, Hudson.
臆病？
Me? A meek lamb?
私が？ハドソン、私は
Hudson,
失礼いたしますお嬢様
Pardon me, my lady.
I had no idea how long Pendleton was behind me, but if he happened to be there a while, he only chose now to speak. How did he even enter the grounds? He didn't look the least bit like a student.
Someone is giving you sedative thoughts, my lady. You are not to go and help anyone. You are a worthless little girl, and I need to lock you up in your room. I wonder how much Watson's route would have improved if Hudson was actually around to tell Watson off, right? Yeah, Hudson wasn't much involved in Watson's route.
見つけましたよ学園に侵入した少女とはあなたですね
There you are. You're the girl trespassing, I presume.
ペンデルトン？なんであなたがここに？
Then are you the man trespassing, Pendleton?
守衛の者が少女が侵入したと大騒ぎでしたので捜索のお手伝いを
The guards at the gate were in quite a frenzy after an unidentified girl skipped along past them, so I offered to search for her.
守衛さん怒ってた？
They're not mad with me, are they?
Oh, well,
怒ってはいませんが許可なく忍び込むのは感心しませんねたとえ要件がホームズ君たちのことであったとしても
they are not, but I cannot approve of entering private property without permission, even if your reason for doing so does concern Holmes and Watson's safety.
話を聞いて
You
おくの
overheard
ね。
then.
その件については申し訳ございませんですがお嬢様
And with
一つだけお
overhearings
聞か
being
せくだ
done
さい
with, I must ask,
お嬢様の
what
ご
is
意
your
思
answer?
私の
Answer? To the favor?
意思？
はい
Indeed.
今お嬢
I'd
様
like to
が
know
どう
what
なさ
course
り
of
たいのか
action you've chosen.
Pendleton watched me with a directness I had difficulty returning.
Every time I see McDonald's worker Grand Gita in Grand Blue Fantasy, I lose a bit of my soul. Oh, is that a class thing?
私は
I
今まで
hesitated too much for my liking.
臆
Turned
病
a
になってい
blind
た
eye
け
when
れ
I
ど、
should have looked straight on.
Oh, it's a promo outfit?
そんな自分を知って周
I
り
know
を知った
myself
今だか
well
らこ
enough
そ
to know that isn't the
私
type
の
of
意志
person
が
I
よくわ
am.
かる。
I know precisely what I want to do.
私は
I don't want this to
失
be
う
our
こ
last
とを怖が
goodbye.
って
If I'm afraid to
大
lose
切
someone
な
I
人
love,
から逃げるなんてこ
then
と
there's only one thing to do.
したくないわ。
I should have looked straight on. You're looking too straight when it came to Marple. Yeah, you should look a little more gayer, I think. She's waiting for you.
私はホームズの力になりたい。ペンデルトン、私に力を貸して。
I wanna help Holmes. And I need your support, Pendleton.
Sent you the curse? Oh no. Smiling crew member. God. Why? Welp. That's the thing that exists.
条件があります。
I need your support, Pendleton. You gotta come with me with your gun. And I have 2 conditions for doing so.
Pendleton continued as if the answer were expected.
事件解決まで私がお嬢様に常に付き添わせていただくこと。
Why would you, when there's a yukata costume in the game for free? 1. I am to remain by your side at all hours until this case has seen its end.
そして事件解決後、お嬢様は今後一切ホームズ君と二人きりで会わないこと。
2. Upon its end, you must never meet with Holmes alone under any circumstances.
そのお二つをお守りいただけますか？
Will you honor these 2 conditions?
ええ。約束するわ。
Yes, I absolutely will. And I meant it. It was time for my resolve to become that of diamonds.
かしこまりまし
Let's
たお
go,
嬢様。
Emily! Kick some
出過ぎた
ass!
ことを申し上げて申し訳ございま
As
せ
you
ん。
wish, my lady. I apologize for speaking out of turn. Holy shit, is Emily actually gonna do something cool for once?
So he said, but I could see the smile upon his lips.
ではこのペンデルトンがお嬢様の力となりましょう。
From this moment on, I will aid you as best as I'm able.
つきましてはお嬢様に
It's the end of the
至急
world.
お伝えしたいことが。
Emily's saving someone else. And to that end, there is something important I must alert you to you at once.
何？
What is it?
聞かれていますよ。あちらのお三方に。
We seem to have an audience. Those 3 over there.
あ、バレた。なんで？
Good God! He spotted us? How?
Kobayashi! My boy! Man, imagine if we did Holmes's route first, and then we're all going, what the fuck, Emily, at her playing damsel for literally every other route, right?
お前がいちいち騒ぐからですよ、小林。
Because you've been making so much noise, Kobayashi. Oh my god, everyone is here for Holmes's route. He really is the canon love interest, huh?
いいえ。ペンデルトンさんは最初から気づいていたわよ。
Oh, it isn't that. He must have known. We were here all along.
待って。なんでそこにい
Me
る
and
の？
my band of high schoolers coming to kick a colt's ass.
Well, what are you doing here?
あなたの様子がおかしかったから。
You're behaving very
ついてきてみた
curiously.
らこの場に遭
So we
遇した
thought
の
to。follow. What a sight that is.
Damn, what's it like being the favorite child, Holmes?
いや、
We did feel
立ち聞きは
guilty
悪いとは思
eavesdropping,
った
but you seemed disturbed by
な
something.
んだか
Right,
ただごとじゃ
Akechi?
ない雰囲気だったし
I do like
No,
that
I
Holmes's
get you.
route seems more of like a plot-based route than it is like romance. Like obviously there is a romance between her and Holmes, but I don't know. I like the plot of this.
ええ。クラスメートを案じることも学
Indeed,
級委員の
as a
責
class
務の一つで
representative,
すから。
it wouldn't do to overlook the welfare of a schoolmate. Same though, yeah. Like I kept this in the back of my head, but I remember liking the start of the game with like solving all the cases and then going on to like each guy's routes. I'm like, it's kind of sad that we don't really solve cases anymore. Like all of these characters that we know just kind of get swept to the sidelines in favor of like having a romance. So it's nice that Holmes is involving a lot of the characters more. For real though, yeah. I got really confused about that part, yeah.
もちろん。
Like, I know that there's like a rescue mission and like a case that's going on in each character's route, and I believe that they're all supposed to be interwoven into like the whole intrigue of Spellbound that you like probably put together after you do all the routes, but still. Like, I like an overall mystery, but I expected an Ace Attorney type of thing, yeah.
You're going to rescue Holmes and Watson, aren't you, Emily?
Or even with the overall mystery, there's multiple small mysteries, yeah. Like shit, dude, Emily was officially recognized as a detective by the Queen of frickin' England. Why can't Emily be a detective? Yeah, let her be a detective. Although I know the Atomic Rallies, I know the complaints I've seen from people on this game are, I don't like how long the common route was, and I don't like how there's not that much romance in it, but I'm like, I like the plot. I like the plot. Every time she tries to do literally anything by herself, she ends up at gunpoint or in a cage. Yeah, that's why she gotta get the crew with her to beat their ass.
You're going to rescue Holmes and Watson, aren't you, Emily?
Marple's gaze was fixed upon me, just like me, for real, for real.
I am.
Then I shall assist you. Let's go! Oh my god! Everyone's gonna help.
Of course. Oh, but you can't.
I think Cinderella Phenomenon did a good job on balancing plot and romance for all the routes. So I'm like, nah, they don't got an excuse. They did that shit for free. Yeah. This is a game that you have to pay money for, and Cinderella Phenomenon did it for free. Man, I need to play Evermore, or whatever the fan disc is called.
It'll help too. I bet we'll be 100 times more useful than any officer will.
Delora.
あの二人がいないと教室が落ち着かないのですよ。これ以上はクラスの風紀に関わります。
Kobayashi Fish, let's go! That's my dude! There's a restless air about the classroom with those two absent. When to grow any more tense, we could have a problem on our hands. Yeah, I didn't finish the fan disc either. I gotta get around to that. Well, hopefully we can play that this year then.
Do you know where Holmes even went? Perhaps?
あのね、行き先かどうかはわからないんだけど。
Emily? I can't be certain this will help narrow down where they've gone, but I have a thought.
ホームズ、手紙を
After
読んで
Holmes read the letter, he mentioned a swayling. Do you know what that word means?
あら、
Oh,
スウェーリング男爵が
Baron Swayling is a famous figure in the world of finance.
銀行の頭取で
He is president
慈
of a
善事
bank
業にも積
and is
極
known by
的。
a superbly charitable
どの新
man.
聞記事も
All the newspapers hold a very high opinion of him.
なあ、明智。それって。
Wait,
俺た
Akechi,
ちが調
that's
べ
not
て
the
た
same bank as ours, is it?
Yeah, I was doing the thing where I was doing the routes I liked least first, so I'm like, ugh, Rod. Relatable.
どういうこと？
What do you mean?
依頼があったんです。
Like, I like Rod, but I don't like Rod as a romance route. For obvious reasons. This concerns a request that was made to us. I ask that you not relay a word of this to anyone. I think
会
he's
社
a
の
neat
社員が襲わ
character,
れたり、
but I do not
得意
ship
先
him
の
with the
盗難被害が続い
protagonist.
ているから、なんとかしてほしいと。
It's like, I like Kawakami. I don't like pairing Kawakami with the protagonist of Persona 5, though. We were tasked to investigate them on behalf of a banking company whose employees have come under frequent attack. Even their clients have reportedly become victims of theft.
その銀行会社が潰れて、一番の利益を得るのはスウェーリング男爵の銀行だったんだ。
We found that the one who stood to benefit the most from the company going under was Baron Swayling and his bank. Whoever put the adult romances into P5 needs to be investigated. For real? Like, why? Why? So, we can't be gay, but we can date an old woman? Old women while we're in high school? Huh? For anyone that hasn't played Cinderella Phenomenon, it's not that it's like an adult ex-child relationship, it's that Rod is the protagonist's sister. So that's why I don't ship Rod with the protagonist. I know that you could argue some stuff about like the validity of them being related, but I'm no, sorry, don't like it, sorry.
We found that the one who stood to benefit the most from yeah.
そのスウェイリング男爵
Has also been making frequent trips to inspect a certain stone processing plant in the city.
妙なことに
There's nothing unusual, but what is unusual is that he always takes a massive amount of money with him. Which is a shame, because I do like Rod. I think I said that when I played Rod's Route, is I like Rod, but I don't like him as a love interest. Yeah, they're step-siblings. Okay, but then the writing had to keep pointing out that they're step-siblings and making it even more awkward, yeah. Like, I think Rod would be a great character if you could just be, like, platonic with him without it being a romance route. Because I do like Rod. I do like him a lot. And I find his curse interesting. I love Emmeline with all my heart. But she made it so much worse. Yeah, Emmeline is great, but that bit in Rod's Route is a little bit... There's nothing unusual, but what is unusual is that he always takes a massive amount of money with him.
なぜ
It certainly
大金を
baffled
持った
us at
人間が
first.
同伴者に
Why
して
would a man of his
頻繁に
status travel unaccompanied with so much to lose? Yet, with this information, pieces have all but fallen in place.
ミス・ホワイトに僕たちは自分たちの依頼のために行動します
Like, she's the most vocal to saying we're siblings. Yeah, God! Miss Whiteley, regardless of what decision you make, we will act to fulfill the task given to us. If it was just Rod, we could low-key forget.
今回はその通過点が重なっただけです
But Emmeline insisted and insisted. And wasn't she, like, all for it, too? She's like, wow, I'm so glad that my brother and my sister are... Oh my god. It just so happens that our goals have aligned on this occasion. She was, yeah.
どうせ重なったんならお互い協力し合った方が一石
Yeah,
二鳥
sorry.
だ
I
ろ
don't know why I just got into, like, dragging on Rod's Route. I will say, Cinderella Phenomenon is a great game. It's really good. It's a really good Otome game. Really high quality, and it's free. Except for Rod's Route. Except for Rod's Route. And if we want the same thing, we may as well work as a team. 2 birds, 1 stone, and all that. Like, I love... What was his name? The Night Guy? I liked the Night Guy and the Peter Pan guy. A lot.
ありがとう
I forgot their names. Oh, thank you. You're so dear.
ペンデルトン馬車は出せる
Might you ready a carriage for us, Pendleton?
すぐにでも
Right away.
ホームズに追いつける
Honestly, I think I liked all of the dateable characters, except for Rod is like a dateable character. I like him as a character. But yeah, all of the love interests were interesting. I feel like I would rather play Rod's Route than Watson's Route, because at least people made logical sense for the most part in Cinderella Phenomenon. Fritz and Waltz, that was it! Fritz and Waltz! I love Fritz and Waltz.
もちろんですただしお嬢様
Like, I know I dragged on... what was his name? Forgot what his name was. Rumpelstiltskin Man. I know I dragged on him, but he got better as his route went. Yeah, Rumpel. Yeah, Rumpel. I know I dragged on Rumpel, like, throughout his route, but I don't know. I feel like, yeah, Anvar, yeah. Yeah, Rumpel Foreskin. Yeah, that's his name. That's his name. Oh, hi there, Annabella. Welcome. Hoi hoi, how are you, bunny buddy? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? That won't be an issue, my lady.
早退届は
Just make
ちゃん
certain
と
you
提
inform the
出してくだ
academy
さい
staff that you will be taking an early leave.
分かったわ
Very well.
それじゃあ目的地が分かったところで私は別行動を取らせても
Yeah,
らうわ
let's fight a colt. Woo woo. Well, now we know where we're going. I have something I must take care of by myself.
マープル一体どこへ
Really? Where are you going, Marple?
いくら私たちが有能でも その場で犯人逮捕まではでき
Oh,
ない
I
でしょ
see.
専門の人を呼ばなくちゃ
Smart thinking, Marple. This is why you're best girl. We're quite capable on our own, yes. I mean, we're a bunch of high schoolers, but sure, you can cook. But none of us have the authority to arrest anyone, do we? I should like to telephone the professionals.
分かったわみん
Oh,
な
we fight in a cult?
Julie,
Awesome,
let's get-
yeah! We're fighting Spellbound. Splendid. Now, let's do this right and with care. Wait, Miss Marple? Yeah! From the Agatha Christie books. With our course nearly clear, the remaining party left whilst Hudson and Marple set off towards the stone processing plant near Hampton Court Park.
で一人で来たんだ
What's this? You really came alone?
指示をしたのはそちらだ。
You said to come alone, so I'm here.
僕や父さんだけでは飽き足らず、ワトソン君まで罠にはめるとはな。
Ensnaring me and my father wasn't enough, was it? Can't you do the same to Watson? The area in which Holmes stood was Hampton Court Park, reached by following the Thames upstream and heading west across London. Holmes's destination had been a processing plant for stone in that area of the city. Yet the fog had been thick around him, resulting in a misstep. He strayed from the road, and the severity of the mistake made itself evident when he was surrounded by Spellbound's rank-and-file members.
そんなに女子が心配だったあ、安心しなよまだ生きてるから
Are you that concerned for your assistant? Rest easy then. He is alive. For now.
ワトソン君はどこにいる？
And where might he be?
まあまあそんなに焦らないで心配しなくても君もちゃんとモラン大佐のもとへ生かして連れて行く
And that's a topic for a later time. He's alive, as will you be when we escort you to Colonel Morn.
もうすぐスウェイリングとの契約もうまくいきそうであの人もきっと上機嫌だろうから
Your timing is rather apt. It's only a matter of time before the contract signing with Swayling is complete. So he's sure to be in good spirits.
まあ多少体に欠けてるところがあったとしても多めに見てくれるよね
Your friend may not be entirely in one piece when you reunite with him, but you'll have to forgive any tantalizing indiscretions on our part.
やはりすでに
Damn,
モ
they
ラン
cut
大
off
佐
his
は
arm?
スウェイリング男爵と契約を。
He's that close to signing the agreement, is he?
ところでホームズ君君
Uh-oh.
利き腕
They're
はど
gonna
っち
cut off my dominant arm? Now, a query for you, Holmes. Which is your dominant arm?
右左それともどっちも潰してほしい
Right? Left? Or shall I crush both arms to bits?
モラン大佐はシャーロック・ホームズのせいで狙撃の腕を潰された君もそれくらいの報いは受けてくれよ
Your father cost Colonel Morin the use of his sniping arm. Retribution is in order.
僕への言いがかりもいいところだ。
What your boss suffered at the hands of my father means nothing to me.
文句があるなら父に直接言ってくれ。
Take that nonsense up with him, not me. Damn, why do they want arms?
大佐の
I
気持
thought
ちは
that Nintendo Switch game didn't sell that well. When I speak with you, I begin to understand how the Colonel feels.
私も見てみたい君みたいな生
Want
意
to
気な
make
ガキ
bloody
が
rags out of you.
絶望と
To see an
屈
impudent
辱と
child
苦
like you
痛
driven
で耐えられ
beyond
な
grief,
くなると
humiliation and anguish. The man aimed his pistol directly at Holmes.
父さんの代わりに
I've no interest in being made to shoulder father's debts.
こんなところで立ち止まって
No
は
time to waste
やれ
with
ない
someone who thinks the burden is mine either. With a calculated slothfulness, as if he took joy in watching dead men squirm, the man pressed his finger against the trigger.
ホームズ捨てろ
Holmes, get down!
この声は
What the devil? Holmes reflexively dived to the ground, and not a moment too soon, for as he did, he heard a series of bangs so loud they nearly ruptured his eardrums. Kobayashi Sprite! Woohoo! More Kobayashi Sprites for the Kobayashi Punch Lord.
今だ明智
Get to it, Akechi! Woohoo!
That's my boy! Wow, everyone's getting a little sprite flourish.
言われなくとも分かっていますよ、小林。
I knew well enough without the reminder. He shot them to death with his true bullets. His tooth bullets. Kobayashi tossed as many firecrackers as he could hold into the surrounding area, freezing his enemies to the spot. The speed of Akechi's blade was but a passing glint to each of them.
君たちどうした？
What are you doing?
その説明は後です。
I'll explain later.
このガキ、
You rats! How dare! At last, there was the sound of a gunshot. It was not from the man who intended to fire first. Upon the firing and a sharp clank, his own gun went flying out of his hand.
そこまでだ。
I believe that will do for you.
くそ、
Shit!
私は
I've given everything I have in support of Colonel Morin.
ずっとモラン大佐を支えてきた。
あいにくだが、
Spare your
子
excuses
供の
for
よ
the
うな
man
言い訳は
himself. I'm
本
not
人の前で言え。
interested. Holmes buried his fist into the man's abdomen, causing him to collapse to the ground before he could speak.
すいません。
Let's go, Pendleton, with the clock! My apologies. My aim was slightly crooked.
敬愛する上司と同じように
I'd intend to aim for his dominant hand to match the superior he so reveres, but alas.
Holmes!
Are you alright, Holmes? Are you hurt?
ミス・ホワイトリー、君たちも
Miss Whiteley.
どうしてここに？
What in God's name are you doing here?
決まってるだろ。
What do you think?
捕まった
We're here to
ワトソン
save
を助けるんだよ。
Watson!
それに
We heard an
Miss
interesting
Whiteley から聞
something
きまし
from
た。
Miss Whiteley as well.
スペルバウンドと男爵の契約現場を抑えることであなたとお父上の無罪を証明できると。
Specifically, that if we can capture Spellbound and the Baron at the scene of their contract signing, we can prove you and your father's innocence.
スウェイリング男爵を抑えることは僕と小林の依頼された仕事でもあります。
Oh my god, this connects because they were part of the like people that like what was it? The children traffickers. That's some nice continuity. And as it happens, arresting Baron Swaling is part of the case Kobayashi and I are currently pursuing.
ホームズまでモラン大佐に捕まってしまったらって思ったら
When I thought that you had been captured by Colonel Morin, too, I couldn't stay home in comfort and wait.
I hope that there's continuity when there's just one game. You never know with like Atome games. Sometimes they'll like pretend that the other routes are like their own world
本当によかったわ。
and like not have them be connected.
And we made it. I'm so glad you're safe.
ミス・ホワイトリー、
本当によかった。
I'm so glad.
Holmes's eyes seemed to quiver briefly with emotion before he collected himself.
大げさだな。わざと敵に捕まる手段もある。
You fret for naught. To allow oneself to be captured is a perfectly valid tactic.
でもワトソンが人質になっている以上下手に敵の懐に飛び込むのは危険よ。
And they have Watson as a hostage? As long as that holds true, charging into enemy territory unprepared is a folly.
ワトソンはあなたの大切な助手でしょ。確実に助け出しましょう。
Watson is dear to you, isn't he? Then we can't afford to make mistakes.
Yes, Watson is very dear to me.
ホームズの助けになりたいの。だから
I want to be a part of that, so
だからお願いホームズ。
so please, Holmes.
私やみんなからもう離れていかないで。
Don't leave me. Don't leave us behind again.
No doubt Holmes was used to rejecting the many hands extended to him. This is gonna sound weird, but what if there's a pseudo sequel and they make it like that one cartoon Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century and it's a giant time skip? That would be very interesting. It's just like Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I did not accept the same rejection. His suffering alone became now mine. I could no longer carry its weight. Holmes closed his eyes. His brow was now heavily wrinkled. It wasn't because he was angry. I knew him well enough to recognize it as the same expression he always wore when trying to work out an answer within himself. I'd spent enough time with him to know all his faces.
僕は自分の力を信じている。
I believe in my own capabilities.
When he opened his eyes again, he did not face me, but kept his gaze steadfastly downwards.
どんな時も頼りになるのは自分の力だと思っている。
I believe that in times of need, it's my own skill that I can rely on most.
だけど今はそれと同じくらい君たちの力を信じたい。
But if I...
そう思う。
But right now, I wish to believe in all of you the way I believe in myself. So, I'll do just that.
The answer had been found, and he lifted his chin to meet eyes with each of us after the other. We were introduced to a new glow in him, a fire that had not been present before, a brilliant resolve.
事件を解決するために
The road to victory is open to us. We can finally face the Elite Four.
ワトソン君を助けるために僕自身と父さんの無実を証明するために
In order to rescue Watson and prove the innocence of myself and my father, I must ask each of you,
僕に力を貸してほしい。
please help me. Also, I don't know what made me remember that cartoon from 1999. What cartoon is that? I don't think I've ever heard of a cartoon of Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
His earnestness was in the strength of his shoulders, which stood strong against nerves. The slight pursing of his lips, which waited with hope. His flushed cheeks, which grew redder still with the need for an answer.
It's kind of like, oh, a Johnny Quest type show? Uh-huh.
Holmes had changed in a way that made him beautiful to me. He always presented himself with confidence alone, but there was a radiance he earned upon learning that help was not a sign of weakness.
ホームズ
大丈夫。
You want help?
俺たち
Capital.
は最初から
We were gonna help
そのつ
even
もり
if
だ
you
から
said
な
no.
乗り合わせた船です。最後まで付き合わせてもらいます。
We all want the same thing. And together, we'll see it through.
Perhaps then becoming conscious of how he had done something unlike him, the flush of his cheeks twisted into something less earnest and more embarrassed. He looked at me last.
ミス・ホワイトに君は
What about you, Miss Whiteley?
ホームズ私はあなたと一緒にいてもいい？
Do you mind if I stay with you? There was still that dark murkiness I carried upon the question, but I could wonder why I feared for his answer. Or I could do as I did, stand tall and ask.
愚問だな。
Don't be daft.
君が誰のそばにいれば
Looking to
最良
anyone
なの
else for
か
that answer will do you no favors.
自分で好き
You
に
want to
決め
decide
た
for yourself who you wish to stay with.
ええ
Well, if that's how it has to be, then I will.
Again, wow, I really like this dynamic. It's kind of crazy how much having like a route that doesn't just focus on like this guy that's obsessed with this one girl does wonders to make me actually like the progression of a relationship.
Holmes hardened at the response, attempting to resume his usual demeanor.
Like he's still a bit of a douchebag and all that, but like you can see him softening up and it feels realistic again. Cause she just like saved his ass.
He could no longer trick me. The radiance of his was too much to disguise.
なあペンデルトン
Silly question, Pendleton. But why does she look so happy when he's being so rude?
She has a degradation kink. Crazy how Emily has better chemistry with practically everyone else except for the simp. You heard it here, folks.
どうして
If
で
you're a
しょう
simp, the girls won't like you. Why indeed?
At the time, Pendleton had been occupied with the belongings of the now collapsed man who engaged Holmes. After a minor investigation, he
rose to his feet and revealed his findings. I
お嬢
know.
様、ホームズ君、これを。
My lady, Holmes, please, take this.
これは地図？
Is this a map?
もしかして取引が行われている場所なんじゃ。
It is, and I speculate it's showing us where the contract is to be signed. We organized for the unconscious men to be retrieved by Scotland Yard before setting off towards the processing plant. The area was still, with no guards of any kind to hinder us, or even a mouse to signal any life. We slinked into a storage room.
ワトソン君が取引現場にいるとは限らない。ここは取引を抑える者とワトソン君を探す者、二手に分かれよう。
There's no guarantee Watson will be in the same place as the signing. Let's divide ourselves into two groups. One to apprehend the criminals, and one to search for Watson.
君はどうする、ミス・ホワイトリー？
Do you have a preference, Miss Whiteley?
ホームズはモラン大佐を抑えるんでしょ。
You're to pursue Colonel Morin, correct?
私も
I should like to obtain proof of Spellbound's involvement personally.
取引
So,
現場
I
を
want to
探るわ
look for the place of the signing.
分かった。一緒に来た
Very
ま
well. With me then.
The more time passed, the more concerned I was for Watson's well-being.
ワトソン
I pray Watson is safe.
大丈夫かしら。
He's dead.
彼ならきっと無事だ。
I'm certain he is.
なぜ
After
なら
all,
まだ人質として使い道がある。
he still makes a
そうだろ。
useful hostage. What was that what you were going to say?
What? The voice seemed to pulsate into the room from nothing. Worse, our senses, keen as we had hoped them to be in this situation, had failed to warn us of Spellbound's many members circling in.
ホームズ・ジュニア、
Hey, it's
殺
you
人事件の
again.
容疑者が我々に何の用だ？
Well, if it isn't Holmes Jr. What does a man suspected of murder want with us, I wonder?
ここは礼儀正しく挨拶をすべきか？
Shall I
それ
greet
と
you
も
as welcome
ス
guests?
ペルバウンド流の
Or
方法
must I
で
bring the
侵入
belt
者を
on
出
our
迎えるべき
intruders
か？
the spellbound way?
あなたは
You're... A blonde-haired man stepped into the scene with an airy elegance. He was well-groomed and dressed in a military uniform that equipped a saber to his waist, all fitting for one whose severe features reflected that of a cold man. Oh, the pizza's done! Nice! Welcome back, Lennox!
Coldest of all, however, were his eyes, the piercedness of which felt his talons. They were the eyes of a hawk staring down its prey, or the dulled eyes of a soldier who had engraved far too many atrocities to memory.
やはり釈放さ
Well
れていたん
then,
ですね。
you were liberated.
父
Is
親
your
は元
father
気か？
well, Holmes
ホー
Jr.?
ムズ・ジュニア。
さあ、それは
Who
僕にも
knows?
わからない
Your
な。
guess is as good as mine.
冷たい息子だ
What a
な。
horrible thing for a son to say.
父を牢屋に放り込んで、
Are you satisfied with him in Gaul?
君には私が満足
Do
してい
I
るように
look
見えるか？
satisfied to you?
Colonel Morin's lips conveyed joy, but those eyes did not. They were glassed by a fire, a limitless wrath no amount of skill could hide.
シャーロック・ホームズが私に与えた
Compared
苦
to
痛
what
に比べた
Sherlock
ら
Holmes has gifted me,
あの程
his
度で満
suffering
足
is
で
but a
きるわけが
shilling
ない。
tossed in the river. I'm far from satisfied.
そこで
To that end,
君
you're
には
going to be of
私の
great
駒と
use
し
to
て
me as my
大い
puppet.
に役立ってもらいたい。
Naturally, you don't have the
もちろん。
right to refuse.
君の意思など関係ない。
では、
Then
こちら
I
も一
shall
つ
make a
教えていた
request
だ
of
き
you
たい。
as well then.
ワトソン君はどこだ？
Tell me where Watson is.
必死な若者を
What
見る
is
の
it
は
about witnessing the
私も嫌い
desperation
で
of
は
a
ない
youth that puts a smile on my face?
私は昔から狩りが好
Perhaps
きで
the
な。
answer lies in my love of
獲物
hunting.
が必死に
The
逃
more
げれば逃げ
desperate
る
my
ほど
prey is as they
こちらも
flee,
熱くな
the
った
more
ものだ。
excited I become.
戦場では華々しく散る
Meanwhile,
もの
on
も
the battlefield,
愚
those
直な
who
ほど
fall
に
to
必死なもの
glory
ばかり
are
だった。
those desperate to the point of idiocy.
そう、
What matters most
狩
on
りでも
both the
戦
hunt
場
and
で
the
も
battlefield is
大
passion
切なのは熱意
and
と
time.
どういうことだ？
What are you babbling on about? What's this guy yapping on
この
about?
音は
What's that sound? The mechanical clinking of machinery in motion could suddenly be heard around us.
一応教えておいてや
I
ろ
would
う
be remiss
間
if
も
I
なく
did not mention that very
そこの工
soon
場全体
this
が稼働
entire
体制に入
factory
る
will begin routine operation. With every new clack, the area outside the storeroom seemed to thunder, ever more boisterously with noise.
君の有能な助
And
手は
dearest assistant will be in, I should call it
装置が
an
完全に動き出すと
unfortunate position
非常に厄介な目
once
に遭うだろ
everything is fully operational for the day.
う刻まれるか溺
Oh,
れる
this is
か
just like how people
釜
like
茹でに
strap
されるか
someone onto like a
溶かされ
table
る
as
か
it slowly moves to like a rotating saw.
どれを選んでも見るに耐えないだろうな
What does fate have in store for him? Being cut to pieces, drowned, burnt alive, melted to his bones? Whichever it is, it'll be a difficult sight for you, I'm sure. No!
仲間を助け出
If
し
you
たか
want
っ
to
たら
save him, you'd best
せいぜい
hurry.
頑張って探したまえあ
Must be
あ
aware
もちろん
that the
君た
hunt
ちを
is in motion.
温かい家に
We
帰
won't
す
have
つ
you
もりはない
scampering off now that we have you in our playground. Run,
君たちの
rabbit,
熱意とやらに
run!
期待しているよ
I've said my piece. Now show me what your passion gains you. Colonel Morin then turned to the rest of Spellbound's members.
私はするべき
I
こ
have
とが
something to attend to.
片
Take
付け
care
て
of the situation here. And so upon his command did the underlings draw their weapons and charge.
あなたたちはワトソン君を探してください。時間がありません。
Go and search for Watson. We've no time to waste.
明智君。ここは僕と小林が食い止めます。
We will handle this rabble.
小林、援護を頼みます。
Kobayashi, assist me. Punch the shit out of him.
分かってるって
Ready and willing.
早く言ってあげなよホームズワトソンを助けるんだな
Go ahead, Holmes. One of us needs to save Watson. One of the assailants collapsed in pain as a round from Kobayashi's slingshot smacked him.
分かった
Right. With the blessings of our allies, we continued.
デンデルトン、一つ頼みがある。
Pendleton, I must ask you to take care of something.
それは火球の要件ですか
Is this urgent, my lady?
ええ。あのね、
Quite. You see, I need your gun. After parting ways with Pendleton, Holmes and I alone were in a rush to find Watson.
モーラン大佐はワトソン君をこの工場内に移動させると言っていた
Colonel Morin said he was going to have Watson moved inside this factory. Okay, I think this might be a good stopping point for today for London Detective Mysteria. So we will. I wonder if we're near the end of Herlock's route. I guess we'll find out next time. But we will be switching over to Skullgirls in a little bit. I'm gonna be going on a BRB to go eat some more of my food. So this is your last call for anyone that wants to play Skullgirls to have your game be downloaded in advance. So you should have enough time while I'm away on my BRB to get the game downloaded and stuff. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes.